Hello everyone, Emily here. I am going to make this scarf that I had in my last video that I was wearing. I think it's really pretty, so I thought I would show you. You can use different colors if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and use some holiday colors. My grandson saw it in the video and he was like, "Oh my God, Grandma, where is that scarf? I want it." So he wore it a little bit today while he was here. And so I thought I would make one. He loves to wear festive things to school. He is in 2nd grade. So anyway, I think this is really pretty. You can see here at the bottom, what I first did was the 1 rows of double crochet going this way, and then I come back in a single crochet, double crochet, and then I start doing these. And I'm definitely going to show you how to do that. And then I just went around with the red, and you don't have to go around it if you don't want to. I just thought it made my ends look really cute. I am going to use Big Twist. It's nice and sparkly. And I have a green, I have white, and then I have this bluish green color. I didn't want to make another one with the exact same colors. And I have my caramel cocoa with some Cool Whip on top. That just is going to make it even better. I believe I'm going to start with my green color here on the bottom. My crochet hook is a 4.0 millimeter. I think I must have used a bigger hook for this because when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking these stitches look pretty big. So you could use whichever size you want to. I'm going to go ahead and tie my slip knot. Put it on my hook. I'm going to tighten it up, but I'm not going to do it too tight. And I'm going to go ahead and make a chain. So when you make your chain, you're going to be making this width of your scarf. So when you do this, you're making it as wide as you want your scarf to be. And I'm looking here. I'm thinking I made it 25 to 30. Because in between each one of these is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so about 30. So I think I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 30. So I'm just going to grab my yarn and bring it through. I do have a tutorial on doing a chain and beginner stuff. So if you need to go look at those first, go right ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, oops, 29, 30. This green is also darker than this green, I just noticed. So what we're going to do is, you can see this chain that we just went through. We're not going to go into that one. We're going to go in the very next one. And we're going to do a single crochet all the way. So I just went into my stitch, grabbed my yarn. I'm going to bring it through, and I'm going to grab my yarn and bring it through both. Put it through your stitch, yarn over, or I guess I always yarn under. Grab your yarn and bring it through. I have 2 loops. Grab your yarn and bring it through 2 loops. You know, I'm going to leave my tail there. Might be able to use it when I'm going back and forth. Okay, so we went to the end. I went to that very last stitch. Ooh, it's just so pretty. So now I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to turn my work. And now I'm going to go through both loops, and I'm going to do a double crochet all the way across. So I'm not going to, I chained the 2, I'm turned it around, and I'm not going to go into this very first loop here. I'm going to go into the next one. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to yarn over, put it through both this V here, both of this V. See the V there? I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go through both of those. I'm going to grab my yarn, pull it through. I have 3 loops on. Grab it, bring it through 2, and bring it through the other 2. And that is a double crochet. And we're going to do that all the way across. So I went into this last stitch. I'm going to bring my yarn through. There you go. Nice and pretty. So let's see here. So we did our first stitch here. Now we did the double crochet. Now we're going to do a single stitch, and we're going to stay with the same color. This is Gracie. She's got to have her little nose and everything. So we're going to go ahead and chain 1. We're going to turn our work, and now we're again going to go through both loops through your V here, and we are going to skip this first stitch, and we're going to go into the next one. We're doing single crochet, so just stick it in, bring your yarn through, grab it, and bring it through. You're going to go in under both of those, and we're just going to do our single crochet all the way to the end. So when you get to the end here, you can see my chain 2 from the last round. I'm just going to go into that top stitch, do my last single crochet. So now I'm ready to turn, and we're right here. So I'm going to change my color, and I'm going to go ahead and change to the white like I did here. And I did pull that through, so we're going to go ahead and pull that out. Let's do that last stitch again. I'm going to put my yarn in that top of that chain 2. I'm going to get my white. I'm going to leave a nice little tail here. I'm going to bring it through both loops. I'm going to pull it a little bit because I want it to be nice and snug, and I'm going to chain 1. Now, I love knots, and so you can decide how you want to do it. I'm going to bury this white one as I go, and I know that this should be sufficient, that knot there, but you know what, I'm going to be washing this, and so I'm just going to put a knot here. That's what I like to do. You can decide to put a knot here or not. There. So I have this on here pretty tight, so you know I don't have to worry about needing to pull any of this white up. And since I did tie a knot there, I'm going to go ahead and cut this green. And you can see I left a nice knot because I'm going to bury it as I go. I know some people might not like this, but this is what I do, so I just want to share it with you. Now it's ready to be buried, and I just think that this makes things so much easier, and I do it with all of my stuff. And then when I go around the outside, you know, it's just going to bury that little knot. But even if it didn't bury that little knot, you really can't see it too much. And when I go around with the outside with the color, I'll bury that. So I like to do as easy as possible to bury things. So I already chained 1. I'm going to chain another one. So now I have 2, and I'm going to turn my work. So we're here. and we are ready to make these hoops. Now these are just a chain, so we are going to yarn over, and we're not going to go into this first one here. We're going to go into the second one. We're going to go under 2 loops. I have my strings here, and I'm going to do a double crochet. I'm going to do a total of 5. So this is going to count as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, 5. Now, in order to do this chain, this is where we're going to do it. We're just going to chain 10. So I chained my 10. We're going to go right here to the top where it went through. We're going to go through both of these. You can see I'm going to go only into the front loop there and this little guy on the side, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. So now we have made our first loop. Okay, so now I'm going to yarn over. We're not going to skip any. We're going to go right into the next stitch, and we're going to do 5 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, here we go. There we go. 5. And now I am ready to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to come here. I'm going to go into this front loop, and I'm going to go into this little side one. And I'm going to pull it all the way through. Okay, so now you have 2 loops. I'm going to yarn over and go into the very next stitch, and I'm going to do 5 double crochets. So I did 5, so I'm going to do a chain of 10. I'm going to go right here into this front loop and this little guy right next door. I'm going to pull them through, slip stitch. I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to do 5 more double crochets. Now, if you wanted to have your loops here closer and you didn't want this much of an opening, you could do less than 5. You could maybe do 3. 5 is the number that I chose, but you could make this your own and do less so that these were closer, which would be really cute, actually. That would be adorable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to chain my 10. And now I'm going to go here into that front loop, and then the little neighboring guy right next door. You can't miss it. I'm going to do a slip stitch all the way through. And I'm going to do a double crochet in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I'm going to have more on this one. So I'm going to chain 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go into this loop here, this front loop, and the little guy right next door. I'm going to grab my yarn and pull it through. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 stitches left, so I'm just going to do 4 double crochets. I don't think you're going to notice there's not 5, and I don't think it's going to destroy my scarf. So you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that. So here's my last chain 1. So I'm just going to go right into that and pull up and do my last double crochet. So you can see that my sides are going to be nice and straight. So when I do this, I am always going to go into the top of that last stitch, that last chain, and then when I go from here, I won't go into this one right here. I'll always go into the next one. Okay. So when we look at my scarf here, I'm trying to make it like this. This is my double crochet. So every time you go back behind here, we're going to do a single crochet. So I'm just going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn my work. And you know what? These are just going to go on the front because we didn't make any extra loops for those. So we're not going to go into this stitch right here. We're going to go to the next one. And we're going to do single crochets all the way across, single stitch. So you can pull this to the side and see where you're going to go in. And then you can just push that baby to the back and you can see your next stitch. So you can see that there's not going to be any opening behind it. And we're just going to do this all the way to the end. You can change your colors whenever you want to. You could do it all one color if you wanted to. You know what, you could even make just the braid parts one color and everything else a different color. Ooh, that sounds like a great idea. I might have to try that and do a tutorial on that. That would just take you carrying the yarn underneath, you know, the whole way across. That would make it really nice and warm, like double the yarn. Okay, so you can see it came to the end. Here's my chain. So I'm going to go in there and do my last stitch. And before I do that, I'm going to change my color. So I'm going to change my color to this bluish color. So I'm just going to grab the end here. Do it the same way I did the last one. I'm going to pull my white tight and oops. I'm going to grab it, I'm going to pull it through. So I'm going to pull my white tight, pull my blue pretty tight. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to cut my white and I'm going to leave a nice tail. I'm going to tie my knot. No, if it's blue, I don't have my glasses on. Oh, I'm crocheting without my glasses. That's even wonderful. It's teal. You can hardly see it. Okay. So I pulled my yarn through. So now I'm here at the front. So you're going to know every time you get to this stitch, you're going to do your chain 10. You're going to connect it there and you're going to go into the next stitch and go on. And then as you get farther on, you're going to see you have a whole bunch of these little things. And that's the exciting part, is when you start getting 3 or 4 and you have all these sticking out, then you can braid them. So this next one will be this color, and I'll just take it through here like that, and you just do it all the way up. That's the fun part when you start being able to braid it. So now you can see how it comes together with the braiding. So I'm gonna, I chained one already, but I'm gonna chain another one because I want to make sure that it's gonna be easy to go into that stitch when I come back. We are doing double crochets. So I'm gonna yarn over. We're not gonna go into this first stitch, we're gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna bury my tails. Oops. Now, pull my tails a little bit here. So now I know that I'm right above this one. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 10. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the white. I'm going to go into this front loop here and to the little neighbor next door. Can't miss him. I'm going to grab my yarn and bring it through. Now I'm going to do 5 more double crochets. And at this point, you know what, you don't even have to count if you don't want to, unless you want to keep track of your stitches, because you're going to know when you come to that loop that you're going to do another chain 10. Okay, see, it's the stitch right before, because you can see it was connected right there. And how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there we go. So I'm going to chain 10. I don't know why, but this blue yarn feels thinner than the white and the green. It's the same kind, I don't know why, but it does. So I'm just gonna again go into this front loop here and its little neighbor and go through both of them. I'm gonna do my double crochets. I want to make sure that there's 5. Ooh, there we go. Pull these little tails. So again, it's you can see right here where is the chain 10, and so the one right before it is where you're going to change chain 10, and I'm going to count, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 double crochets in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to go into this top, front, and its neighbor. So you're not going into the chain, you're going into the top. Oops, I'm going to slip stitch, just go all the way through. So you can see how that's working out. And then when you get a whole bunch, it's so much fun to braid them. So when you have 5 or 6 of these little things, and then you start braiding them. So you would start here and just take it through, and you're just going to keep going, and you're just going to keep braiding them. That is so satisfying, I gotta tell you. So then you just keep going, and this is going to be really pretty. I really love this light green and the red together. But I'm just going to keep going, and you just keep going. And if you need to go back and look at the video, go right ahead. Of course, this is your project. You can cut off the ends any way you want to. You can do your colors any way you want to. Just keep on going. 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see here's that stitch. That's the one you want to do your 10. Remember, when you come to the end, to just go into that top chain, okay? Now I'm going to chain 1, and I do want it to be nice and loose, so when I come back it'll be easier to go into it. And I'm going to do a single crochet all the way across. Remember just to move this so you can see your stitches that you need to go into, because you're not skipping any. You're not going to go into this first chain, you're going to go into the second always. And when I go back, I'm not even counting, I'm just making sure that I'm not missing any stitches. This is what the back looks like. So the back's even pretty. Okay, so I went a few rows with this beautiful color. And when you get far enough to start braiding it, it's so much fun to see what you've created so far. So you just start at the bottom. Just start at the bottom, take the one above it and bring it through it. Take it, bring it through it. And basically what you're doing is you're just kind of like braiding it. So just start at the bottom. Start at the bottom with your loop, take the loop above it and put it through it. Take the loop above, put it through it, pull it up. These colors are really pretty. When you braid it, it is a great feeling. So when I made that long one, I like went so many rows and then braided it. There you go. So in between here are 5 double crochets and then the single crochets. So you have 5 stitches in between them. So I did this one just so I could show you and see for myself what it would look like if you only did 3. I figured 3 would be a good number. I thought maybe 2 would be too close. And you could do as many as you want in between. You could have 1 row going up the middle if you wanted to. So this only has 3 stitches in between. See how close they are? I really like this. Look at that. That is so pretty. So you could do this any way you want to. Make it your own. Change things up. I really like this. And it's so thick, so it's nice and warm. But I definitely like this. So please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, come back and see what I'm doing later. Have a great day and stay safe. Thank you. Bye.